In 2013, a hushed silence fell over a Waterloo boardroom. BlackBerry's executives stared at a dire reality. Nearly $1 billion worth of unsold smartphones had to be written off. 4,500 employees were set to lose their jobs. The company that once owned the smartphone world was now contemplating a $4.7 billion fire sale to a financial consortium. A tragic drop from its $80 billion plus valuation just a few years prior. It was a shocking collapse. BlackBerry, the crackberry that top executives and world leaders once clutched like a lifeline, was unraveling before the world's eyes. How did the king of smartphones come to die by 1,000 cuts? To find the answer, we have to rewind to BlackBerry's meteoric rise and the hubris that would ultimately seal its fate. I'm Zach, and you're watching Patchnotes. Quick shout out to the team behind the shoot, VideoDeck. They're the folks who wrote, shot, and produced this whole thing. So if your company's trying to explain anything remotely complex or create stunning product demos, hit them up at videodeck.co. In the late 1990s, a small Canadian outfit called Research in Motion introduced a curious device, a two-way pager with a tiny QWERTY keyboard and an uncanny knack for email. By 2000, the first true BlackBerry phone was born, complete with push email. For Wall Street bankers and Beltway power brokers, it was love at first buzz. The BlackBerry became a status symbol of productivity, earning the nickname Crackberry for its addictive hold on professionals. As the 2000s rolled on, the BlackBerry's growth was explosive. By 2009, RIM was named the fastest growing company in the world. At its peak, BlackBerry commanded over half of the US smartphone market and 20% globally, selling upwards of 50 million devices a year. Presidents, CEOs, and celebrities all tapped feverishly on those little keyboards. Yet, even in BlackBerry's golden age, seeds of trouble were quietly taking root. The company's co-CEOs, Mike Lazaridis and Jim Basile, pioneered mobile email and security, but kept tight control over hardware and software. Early on, that made sense. Corporate IT departments loved BlackBerry's end-to-end grip on security. But this mindset left little room for third-party apps, games, or consumer innovation. BlackBerry was built for work, not play. And you can pretty much see where I'm going with this now. In January 2007, Steve Jobs unveiled the iPhone, a sleek, all-screen device that looked like a toy and a threat. How did RIM's leaders react? Not well. Basile publicly shrugged off the iPhone as just another entrant in a crowded space. Lazaridis thought the iPhone would collapse under the weight of its own data usage, literally crashing cell networks with its full web browser. Besides, RIM owned the enterprise market. Why would loyal BlackBerry users trade their trustworthy keyboard for a battery-hungry media toy? Such hubris blinded RIM. The company famous for innovation became mired in defensiveness. Even as Apple's App Store launched in 2008, igniting a new app economy, RIM's chiefs downplayed it. You don't need an app for the web, Basile said in 2010. In truth, RIM was misreading the entire moment. The iPhone and later Android were built for more than simple communication. They were lifestyle devices and software platforms. BlackBerry, stuck in its enterprise-first mindset, remained all about email, BBM chats, and devices built for IT approval. By 2008, the crack showed. That year, RIM's attempt at a touchscreen phone, the BlackBerry Storm, became a notorious disaster. Its gimmicky, clickable screens were buggy and returns were sky high. What was meant to be an iPhone killer turned into one of the most infamous flops in smartphone history. The Storm was quick to disappoint customers and sour RIM's relationship with Verizon, which then embraced Android as its champion against the iPhone. That single failure helped open the floodgates for Google's ecosystem. By 2010, it was clear. The fight wasn't over devices, but ecosystem. iOS and Android courted developers and unleashed millions of apps. BlackBerry's app world only had tens of thousands. Many clunky, few compelling. Building apps on BlackBerry was notoriously painful, while iOS and Android offered rich SDKs, clear APIs, and fast-growing user bases. Developers flocked where the opportunity was greatest. BlackBerry tried to catch up. It acquired QNX to build a modern OS. It launched a Playbook tablet in 2011, only to commit the ultimate sin, shipping a BlackBerry without email or BBM. The device was dead on arrival. Later came BlackBerry 10, sleek and modern, but years late. Worse, the app gap never closed. BlackBerry even bribed developers with free playbooks and later enabled Android apps to run in a sandbox. None of it mattered. By then, the ecosystem war was over, and BlackBerry had lost. Through its rise, BlackBerry's brand was synonymous with security. Governments and businesses trusted its encrypted messaging. But even this fortress showed cracks. In 2010, under threat of bans by countries like Saudi Arabia and India, BlackBerry quietly struck deals to allow government monitoring of messages. Reports surfaced of encryption keys handed over, undermining its reputation for absolute security. Internally, strategy battles raged. In 2012, co-CEO Jim Sile pushed a bold idea: open BBM to all devices and turn it into the global messaging standard. The plan, codenamed SMS 2.0, could have made BBM what WhatsApp later became. But new leadership killed it, deeming it a distraction from the hardware business. Basile quit in frustration, and BlackBerry doubled down on phones just as the market abandoned them. By 2013, BlackBerry's US market share had plunged from dominance to irrelevance. Its new devices flopped, global outages eroded confidence, and enterprise clients defected en masse. The company wrote off nearly $1 billion in unsold phones, laid off thousands, and teetered on bankruptcy. Under new CEO John Chen, BlackBerry pivoted away from hardware entirely. It reinvented itself entirely as a software and security company. Its QNC operating system found new life in cars, and its security services live on quietly in the enterprise world. But the age of the BlackBerry phone was over. BlackBerry didn't lose because its phones were worse. It lost because it never built a world others wanted to live in. Apple and Google handed developers the keys, and those developers built what most of us carry around in our pockets every single day. BlackBerry kept tightening its grip on the past, and like every empire that confuses control for strength, it shattered. The lesson isn't subtle. No company is too essential to fail. No technology too beloved to vanish. In the end, BlackBerry proved its own prophecy wrong. The secure walls and loyal customers would be enough. The walls cracked, the customers left, and the company that once defined the smartphone became a footnote in the story it helped start.